Welcome. I'm MJ, and today I have a little bit more exciting topic. It is for me, anyways. And my question to you today is if there is something that you have always wanted to learn, some kind of skill or just something new that you haven't had a chance to learn or haven't had time to learn, maybe. Because today I became really curious about finding out how long it actually takes for somebody to learn a new skill. And during research, I found out that there's something called the 10,000 hour rules. And this idea was from an author named Malcolm Gladwell. I think he mentions this in one of his book. And when I was looking into it a little bit more, um, it actually, a lot of people are saying that it actually takes a lot less than 10,000 hours. But I think he was mentioning that how it takes 10,000 hours to become master at it, like just become really, really great at it. And when I was looking into it a little bit more, that in general, it takes somebody about 20 really focused hours to learn something. And it actually apparently takes about 600 hours to 2200 hours to learn a new language, and maybe like something like 2000 hours to learn a new musical instruments or something like that. And I don't know how much of it is true, because I'm sure like it's depending on which language you're learning, or depending on the person how fast of a learner they are. I thought it was doable because I know that the numbers looks kind of big, 600 even, or like 2000. But I became interested in this idea because I was reading through the book I mentioned last, called Atomic Habit by James Clear. The book mentioned something about how a lot of people, like most of people, spends an average about 2 to 3 hours per day on social media, which adds up to something like over 600 hours a year. And how much we could actually accomplish within like that 600 hours with just the small changes and habit changes and stuff like that. But then I kind of start to think, if I really replaced an hour or two of checking my phone or entertaining myself and consuming into learning something instead, or creating something, that I could actually be pretty decent at something by next year around this time, or like have something to show for, which I thought, considering how fast the time goes, that's pretty exciting, I think, anyways. But then, of course, what we will be learning, or what I'll be trying to learn, would have to be exciting and fun enough and satisfying enough that I could just replace it completely with my bad habit of going on social media, because it does take more effort, willpower and the discipline to just change my behavior from, just something so easy where I just sit there and just stare at a screen, to actually learning something, which it takes a lot more energy and the brain power of obviously. But I thought it would be really nice to learn or create something that I can truly appreciate when I look back at it in the future. And I don't know, just feel like that I have accomplished something. And yeah, I'm just saying that maybe it's something that we could all think about, you know? And that being said, I'm curious to know if you have had an opportunity to master something or become really good at something in the past, and how long it actually took you to get there, and what kind of like sacrifice, or maybe that I shouldn't say it like a sacrifice, what kind of hard dedicated work that it took you to um, become as good as you are on the subject. Am I making any sense? Or another question would be like, if there is something that you've always been wanting to learn, either it's painting or playing guitar or something more practical, or I'm not sure. If there is, maybe share it with me. And I'm also curious that if you would try, maybe even just to like replace 20 minutes to start with. Um, because I think that we really underestimate ourselves and the time sometimes. Just food for thoughts. If you're hoping to get something more out of life than where you are right now, maybe it's something to think about. Anyways, thanks for being here today, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.